Well, I've really enjoyed this year with the Worms, but I tell you, the one part about my job that I really don't like is the fact that I really have to virtually go out and search for the players before game time. I mean, here we are, it's like 20 minutes before game time. We're playing Central Wayne Building Supply, and there he is. That's Roland BERES, passed out here in front of the door of Club Venus. I don't know, must have lost his keys again. Roland! Roland, he does this just about every game. Roland! Well, we're going to have to take more drastic measures. Hey, Roll! Hey, Roll. It's game time, Roll. Come on, bud. I've been trying to call you. Where you been? Look at this mess.
No way.
You been reading my Easy Riders? Come on, Roll. It's time for the game. Come on, Roll. Let's go.
Stop yelling, Zack.
What are you doing out here, bud? How come you're not inside?
I lost my keys.
Oh, just like last week, huh?
What am I supposed to say, Zack? What do you want me to say? You wake me up this morning, I have a beer headache, a hangover.
A headache?
Headache. It's like a haddock. It's a relative of the haddock.
I think you're just being nitpicky right there. Roland is a great guy. He's just an awesome teammate in the backcourt. I mean, whenever I get tied up, you know, he's right there for me. Roland, he's a great guy. Okay, so he's 0 for 6, so he's 0 for 4. Go ahead, stab him while he's down, right? No, I think Roland is a really good guy in the backcourt.
Well, I think we complement each other pretty well on the court when we're out there together, and he's pretty much the shooter from three-point land. I'm more the ball control person for the Worms, and when I bring it up, I usually dish it off over to Cliff. He'll look for the shot almost every time, and if not, then he'll usually try and send it over to someone else, hoping to get the ball back and shoot a three-pointer. Yeah, I think he does hog the ball pretty darn much, in my opinion.
You can say he's a hot dog, but when he's sinking shots, I mean, hot dogism certainly works. And a lot of times, Cliff will come down and put in that important three-point shot, or make that nice drive into the middle of the lane for the layup or the quick pass off, which is an important part of the game. He's a very key player, I think, although his turnovers match mine, basically. But
yeah, Cliff's kind of a whiner, actually. He, he complains a lot on the court. I've told him a couple of times, stop taking shots. He's come down like 10 times in a row and taking shots and missed them and not really passing off. And then once I holler at him, he kind of like slacks off. And I don't really like him very much.
Hope this message gets out to him soon. I think the Worms could be an amazing team if it was but for one person, and I'd say that would be Roland BERES. If you can hear me, Roll, get off your ass and move, man. Run. We've got about 80 or 90 clips of you just standing there going, watching guys run right on past you, and you don't go back for defense, dork. Run. Get off your butt, and maybe we'll win a game.
Cliff is a guy who can shoot the ball. In terms of probably looking at the people who can shoot and score on our team, Cliff is one that stands out.
Paul BOLIN, one of the top scoring members on the team, used to be a close personal friend of my father's, I've recently found out. As a matter of fact, when I was just a wee child in 6th grade, he came over to our house many times. Them both working at the University of Oregon, it was a strange realization for me, being a commentator, to realize that one of these people on the team was a friend of my father's. Did you know that Paul BOLIN is on the team?
No, who is Paul BOLIN?
You don't know Paul BOLIN?
No.
I thought for sure you knew Paul BOLIN. He's a professor at the University of Oregon.
Paul BOLIN. Paul, he's a tall guy, isn't he? He's good. He's a good player. He's got a lot of endurance. And he's the tallest guy on our team, but he's also one of the best runners. I mean, he'll outrun every one of us. I think that might have something to do with the fact that he trains for marathons, but he's a good guy.
The members of the Worms are quite a unique group of people. I didn't know many of them coming in. One of the people I did know is Dave Gibson, who I've run to quite a bit at Kinko's. And he's always interested in my running and seems to always be happy about what he's doing. I really enjoy talking with him.
Okay, I want you to hold this, Dave. This is something that I'm not giving this to you. I'm only letting you borrow it. Okay. But I think, Dave, that you probably should have worn this because of your hairstyle.
My hairstyle, thank you.
You look like Slick Watts. That's great.
Well, I'm surprised about how much hustle Paul and Dave both put into this team. I mean, being the older members of the team, you'd think that the younger folks would be out there, running around, doing most of the legwork, but they both have just so much hustle. They're always up the court real quick. Paul is putting in some really nice baskets, and Dave's got some excellent ball handling skills. I think they've both been quality members of the Worms, and not only in their playing styles, but as well as adapting to the Worm philosophy.
Being a player coach, of course, my concentration is on coaching instead of the game, and so I may miss 1 or 2 shots, and I'm only shooting 25% or so. But it will pick up, and maybe my coaching will pick up too. But until now, viva la Worms!
I think Pete is a great guy. I think he's out there running hard, working hard, and I think that he's the only person except for Cliff that can actually hit a three-pointer. So, Pete, I had faith in you, but it just didn't happen.
I feel no responsibility at all, but things just get way too tough in there, and you can't push people out. We started double teaming now, trying to push these guys around, but even then 2 Worms against 1 normal player is just too much.
I started talking with Zack, and I found out that you're going to play basketball. And of course, basketball's been very, very good to me.
There's just no other team as bad. If the Worms played the Worms, I think that would be the worst game ever seen. It would be like infinity times infinity.
Actually, this is really my first year of really coaching, and still I'm not really the coach. I'm more of the facilitator. Every player on the team really plays a role. My role is calling people and getting them up, to go to the game, waking them up and stuff.
I sort of see myself as maybe the old man on the team. Most of the other guys are pretty young, but I seem to fit in, and they seem to accept me pretty well.
I think the Club Venus Worms entertain the crowd. Yeah, it's definitely a team effort. We're all we're all quite funny.
I think it's given me an interesting outlook on things, mostly from a negative understanding.
We're following the Worms, and I think that's our job, to follow the Worms.
As far as I know, and all records that we have in our files, I believe the Club Venus Worms probably have broken all existing records for turnovers, fouls, low shooting percentages. I think they're tops.